Hi everyone, it's Sunday, February 26th, time for another HideNet Week in Review. I'm Vera Dordick. So starting with the U.S. market, sellers had a tough week. On the heels of some recent increases, they pushed for more, but buyers flat out refused to pay. So it seems that when the next export numbers come in next week, it will have been a poor week of sales. Looking at heavy Texas steers, prices were steady, again not because of firm levels, but more due to a lack of sales. The range is still 26 to as much as 27.50 for 64, 66-pound selections. Even automotive customers have balked at paying higher prices for heavy native steers, which really are in short supply. Meanwhile, in the cow sector, Holsteins are still popular, but their upward run looks like it's starting to slow down. With regard to combined export sales, they were down significantly this week. For the week ending February 16th, they were 467,300, which is actually 39% lower than the previous week. At least combined shipments were good at 620,000, and that's up 2% from the week before. Estimated slaughter for the week ending February 5th, was 618,000, and that's down 1% from last week. And if you look, already this year, slaughter is 2.3% lower than it was in 2022. Turning to Europe, editor Andrea Guolo says that Lineapelle actually made little difference in the market this time around. Cows and bulls are unchanged, while calves and sheep saw some increases. Other than the top end of the range, everything else, which is the mass market hides, is in a tough position. The lack of slaughter is pushing sellers to raise asking prices on a number of selections, but tanneries can't pay, so we'll have to again wait and see what happens, because right now uncertainty still rules the European market. In the UK and Ireland, no deals were done at Lineapelle because asking prices were just too high. Prices in the UK are consequently the same, with British ox at 83 to 88 cents per kilo sterling. And in Ireland, prices are also unchanged at 93 to 98 cents in euros. Looking at European bulls, some contracts may have concluded at 5 cents higher last week, but that's not the general market trend. And as we mentioned, bull prices are largely unchanged, so northern German bulls are still €1.15 to €1.20 per kilo for the 40-plus kilo selections, and southern hides are also steady. With regard to European cows, the market is still weak and higher asking prices are not coming to fruition. For veal, the availability is so tight that prices got even higher because the top brands have no trouble paying those levels. In his analysis, Andrea runs down all these changes and then summarizes what happened at the fair over the 3 days. Turning to South America, editor Ronald Guiel says that this week raw material prices went up 7 cents. Fresh hides are now selling at $1.32 per kilo. So, consequently, the reference price of TR1 is also higher at 66 cents per square foot. Other Latin origins managed to remain stable for another week. In other news from Brazil, the country suspended beef exports to China over the discovery of some BSE cases, and that is also leading to lower slaughter, hence the higher hide prices. MyCam Milano is expected to yield more than $32.8 million in business for the shoe companies that went there. Exports of components and chemicals from Brazil generated almost $28 million in January. From elsewhere in Latin America, Argentina's footwear sector is concerned about the proposed changes to the salted hide export tax and the effects it will have on their sector. Chile's online sales dropped by almost 1/3 in the fourth quarter. In Colombia, the Latin American Footwear Forum is set for June 22 and 23 in Cucuta. And sales of domestically produced footwear in Peru have been dropping dramatically due to Asian imports. So that is all we have for this week, and until next week, good night from HideNet.